Hey everyone, this is your favorite radio host, your only radio host, Corinne Lafont, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And I forgot to mention your favorite girl, of course. So, I always start my show off being thankful. Some people might say grateful or gratitude. Either one works for me. And I am so thankful to be here. I always thank the universe, source, God, whoever, or whatever you want to call it or name it. I am always thankful throughout the day, throughout the night. It doesn't matter. I don't have a set time. Just wake up in the morning and I'm like, yay, I am so thankful. There are so many people that are not with us right now and they're missing out. But that's okay. They live life and they did what they had to do. So I'm living for myself and for them who is missing out. So I'm thankful to be here. I didn't hear the birds this morning. I wonder what's going on with them. I normally hear the birds when I have my show. I don't know. They're probably busy planning something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Watch out for those birds.
Right, right. So I have a handsome man here with me. I tell you, all the people on my show are beautiful people. His name is Connor Kelly, and he's in Canada. Hence the reason why you're only seeing white and reflective light behind him. He's not in the Caribbean with me yet. I say yet because prior to the show, we were planning when I would go to Canada and when we would both come back to Trinidad. So we got it worked out. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to tell anybody what we're doing. I'm just saying.
We're just sorting out the details, but yeah, that's the plan in general. Behind me is a wall of white because I'm based in Toronto, Canada.
Yeah.
And today is a very typical Toronto February day, and it's like a wall of snow coming down behind me, so that's why you can't see much.
Wow. I don't know if my eyes could tolerate that, Connor. I need to see color. I need to see color, green, brown, all different colors. My eyes are so used to that. I don't know if I can get used to white, wake up to white, the light. I don't know.
You know what? In small doses, it's actually quite beautiful. The snow is quite pretty.
Okay. Yeah.
But towards the end of a long winter, it starts because it's very gray. There's not a lot of sun.
Right.
So towards the end of a long winter, you can start to go, okay, let's move this along already. But at first, when the snow comes down, it's very pretty and it's light and it's soft and it reflects the light, so it really is quite beautiful.
Okay, great. Well, I'm looking forward to experiencing that, and then you coming to experience some color in your life. I'm not going to tell people when. So
right.
We're going to leave that. That's our secret. So let me tell persons what we're talking about today. So we're talking about how to build an audience using simple emails. And that is such an interesting topic, yeah?
Yes, very interesting. It's my business, it's my passion, and what I hope we'll be able to do today is to give our listeners, a few very actionable tips that they can, as soon as this is over, they can, take action on and start seeing some results right away.
Beautiful. And that's exactly what I'm looking for and what they're looking for. Let me tell persons a bit about you and we can go right into it. So Connor Kelly is a leading email marketing specialist and publisher of the Small Business Marketing newsletter. We need to grab that, people. He also publishes daily email marketing tips on his website at connorkelly.com. And on my show, I always feature my guest website. So a little bit later, we'll see that. He has clients across many industries, including fitness. Oh my goodness, I need to check out those. Chiropractic and real estate. And his emails are read by people all over Canada, the US, Europe, and Africa. That's very awesome.
But not the Caribbean yet, I guess. I have to
not in the Caribbean yet. We're working on it. on it. Yeah. So an official welcome to you, Connor Kelly.
Thank you so much.
Now, we're talking, as I said today, about emails, how to build an audience using simple emails. And I find that very interesting, like we agreed, because it's marketing. And one of the things that people find difficult is, one, where am I finding the time to write all these things, even to get them to do blogs? I mean, I suffer from that myself. To do blogs and to be consistent and disciplined is always a struggle. Then what emails? You have newsletters. I remember when this whole digital marketing started, people were saying newsletter, do a newsletter, then the blogs. Then we started to talk about SEO. and a whole lot of other things, started bombarding us in social media. You're like, what? Crazy? What am I going to do? How am I going to do all of this and run my business? And I'm the sole entrepreneur, and then I have a family and I have a life. I mean, there's such a thing as living, what I want to really know is break it down really simple. And I like how you said actionable steps right away. For the busy entrepreneur, the person who is a husband, the wife, the single parent, the working person who has a full-time job but has a business on the side and trying to build to eventually fire their boss and leave their job, their full-time job. What are some simple yet effective ways that people can use to build their list, build their subscribers, reach their audience using, as you said, simple emails?
Wow. Okay. So we're starting that broad. Okay. Well, I think what makes sense for us, Karine, first is to just maybe take a step back and say why it's a good thing to endeavor to build an audience, to build an email list. Because as you said, so many people are busy, they're entrepreneurs, they have families, and as an entrepreneur, you know this very well. Your energy can go in about 1 million different places.
Of course.
So that's, really one of the big tests is to know where you should invest your time and invest your energy. So, just quickly, let me start with why it's a good idea to even have an email list. Mm-hmm. For instance, you've probably heard the expression, the money is in the list.
Of course.
That's that's sort of a truism that gets tossed around a lot in entrepreneurial circles. Mm-hmm. But I think we really want to take it a step further than that, because just having a bunch of names on a database is not doing very much for you if you don't do anything with it.
That's right.
So it really isn't about the list so much as it is your relationship with that list.
That's right. Massaging that list, keeping in contact, giving them value.
100%. And then, especially, I think for all businesses, but especially anyone who is online focused, all of the businesses that are doing really well online are making most of their sales through email marketing and through their relationship with their list. That's how it's done. Mm-hmm. 60% of business owners say that their most profitable channel is email marketing.
Wow.
The Direct Marketing Association says that email marketing has a 4,300% ROI.
Okay.
So it really is one of the most profitable ways that you can grow your business.
I'm going to stop you right there. I'm going to interject right there. Now, email nowadays seem to be an old word. Let me explain. Email was the way to go at first. That was the first kind of thing that came out, and everybody was like, ooh, I have a Gmail address, a Hotmail address, a Yahoo address, MSN, whatever it may be. Now everybody's like, what? You use email? It seems so archaic. When you have things like Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and, well, LinkedIn is still alive, mm-hmm. and all those other things. So email is like, it just kind of drifted off in the distance. So when you tell people you have an email, it's like, you still use that? So it's like, you're saying,
do you still use email? Still use email?
Of course I still use email.
I still use email. It's crazy,
So clearly I'm old school. We are old school, Connor. We're not with the modern young people, it seems, because they're using more modern things. Is it that we're so old? And I know I'm not old. And I don't mind old school, it works. But you're saying the kind of ROI and the type of results you get from using email, you wonder really, what's really going on?
Well, the thing is, people are using all these new tools, but they're still using email. And it's not going anywhere anytime soon. As a matter of fact, I just wrote a blog about this. I had a conversation with a business owner who I was like, hey, listen, I just noticed that they weren't as busy as they could be, and it's a place that I frequent and that I like. Mm-hmm. And I said, listen, all you need to do is offer someone, let's say 10% off mm-hmm. Their tab for everybody that comes through the door if they'll sign up for your email newsletter, and you're going to send them basically, fun little tips and promotional offers to bring them back through the doors.
Mm-hmm.
And his first question back to me was, well, yeah, okay, that's email, but what do you think is next? Like, what's the next big thing? and I think unfortunately, that's a disease that sort of, affects a lot of business owners, which is, always thinking about what's the next big thing. But my point was, well, wait a second, even if there is a next big thing, first of all, what could it be? Because there is chat, there's video conferencing. Look how we're communicating today.
Exactly.
There are chat bots, there are, chat rooms, there's text messaging, video conferencing, video messaging, all this stuff already exists, and it hasn't supplanted email. Email is so ubiquitous to the way our culture runs nowadays. We use it for personal reasons and we use it for business reasons.
That's right.
And so my point that I'm making is that, your customers are on email today. It doesn't matter what's coming tomorrow. Right now, your customers are on email. And, a little bit later today, if you were to send them a nice note and properly entice them, you could, have them walking back through your door as soon as tomorrow. And so I think that's a blind spot that some business owners get, where they're like, oh, there's this, next thing, we got to always be thinking about, okay, so after social media, what is it? But you know what? Your customers are already on email.
Yeah.
And the stats are something like, not everybody checks their social media every day, but the average person checks their email 5 times a day.
Okay. I know I check mine more than 5 times a day.
You might check it more than 5. I know. I hate to admit, I probably do check it more than 5 too. But there was also another stat from McKinsey, which is a major management consultancy, and they said you're about 40 times more likely to get a new client from email than you are from social media.
I could agree with that. I could agree with that. I get more people reaching out to me through my email than more through social media. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I guess it's because
hopefully we put that one to rest. I don't know.
I guess it's because of the whole nature of the beast of social media. It says social, it's not business. It doesn't have that business culture behind it, because email came about, to my knowledge, really as a way of formally communicating, and then people started using it really for personal reasons. But it's really more formal in its approach, as opposed to the informality of social media, the Facebook, the Twitter, etc.
Yeah, I would argue that it's more formal and more personal too.
Yeah.
Because people think about how protective people are about their inbox.
Yeah.
So if you can be the person that visits their inbox regularly as a welcome guest, as opposed to an unwanted pest, then there's a lot of sort of trust engendered by that, and there's a lot of capital in that you can leverage to really create customers, right? But then the other thing is, just having an email list. This is probably the biggest point about this, Corinne, and then we can move on, which is when you have a list of subscribers, you own that list.
Yeah.
It's yours. Nobody can take it away from you. Your relationship. If you change email providers, you just download that list, you put it into a spreadsheet, and you can upload it somewhere else. Yeah. Whereas you don't own your social media followers.
No.
Right? No. There are changes happening there all the time, depending on what you do. There are people routinely nowadays being deplatformed, saying they can't advertise certain things.
Yeah.
And so there's do you really want to leave the future of your business in the hands of Google or Facebook or Instagram?
Yeah,
right? I'd much rather have that email list, that I have that relationship, and then I can go anywhere with that and know that I can make money.
I like that point. I totally like that point, because I've learned that anything that you post on Facebook is not really yours. So when people when you really post those things, all those other things that you're posting, personal or otherwise, comments, videos, whatever, it's really not yours. It belongs to Facebook.
100%.
Yeah. That's a very solid point. So all those people who are laughing at us, Connor, that we are old school with email, that's okay. Keep laughing.
Yeah, you laugh. We'll laugh all the way to the bank, right?
Right. So let's talk about something that you mentioned a while ago about people being very protective about their emails. Now, from the time people start to see a lot of emails, and that is another thing by itself that can become overwhelming when you start seeing a whole boatload of emails coming in and you're like, oh my God, I can't manage this. Then they start ignoring, then they're not responsive as they should be. What would you suggest in terms of an approach and a tip for not bombarding people's emails, yet giving them value and them wanting over time, after massaging the relationship, to want to buy from you or follow you or become a loyal customer?
Well, I think the answer, you sort of implied the answer in your question, Corinne, which is give them value, right? And this is I think, if I was to put it in the most simple way that I could is, people have to actually like reading what you're sending them, right? So write stuff that people will like, that they'll enjoy. So if you make it, sort of fun, conversational, informative, but also entertaining, and also brief, to be honest with you, because a lot of people are reading on their phones nowadays. That's another reason they don't want to read a big article. You can become one of the celebrated few in the people's inbox that they always look forward to getting your emails and reading them. That being said, you can't, that's a big thing about email is you really have to put your own spin on it, your own personality on it. And you have to expect that you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
Right. And that's really what you want, though. You want to repel certain people. True. You want those unsubscribes. Because it means that your follower base is also becoming more passionate and more attached to you. And those are really the people that will buy from you, not the ones that are just sort of lukewarm about what you're doing.
I love that. Let me interject here, because the way how you said that felt really good to me, in the sense that
good.
No, that felt really good to me, that you say you want those unsubscribes. Somebody listening to that will be like, what? I don't want unsubscribe. I don't want unsubscribe.
Unsubscribes are good. Unsubscribes are good. Yes.
Yeah, I love that. And this is why I said it felt good to me, because I want the unsubscribes. And I like how it came across, because, some people don't see it that way. You cannot be everything to everyone. And the people who decide they don't want to follow you, you should say, great, I am happy that you're not following me. People see it as a reflection on them. Oh, why don't you want me? They feel like they're rejecting or being rejected. No, it's really the opposite. You are really getting the type of people that want to be with you and should be with you and want to follow you. And it's not a matter of a reflection on you.
That has everything to do with them. How other people judge you is everything to do with them. Has nothing to do with.
It has nothing to do with you.
Your attitude.
Yeah. And especially in business, some people, you might be working towards having a client, you're in that phase before you close the deal. And next thing you know, they just decide, no, I'm not going to. You just say, hey, no problem. Be able to let it go. Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah,
that's right. That's a very good point, Corinne, because people do get very upset about that. When I start working with a new client, often they'll that's one of the main things that comes up. It's like, oh, you want me to email more often, but I'm going to get all these unsubscribes. Yeah. And I always tell them, good. That's what you want. Hey, what are those people? Those people are not going to buy from you. That's the point. And the way that the other thing too is about the way that the email software providers work is depending on the size of your subscriber list, you're paying for those names.
That's right.
So the ones that are not buying from you are actually costing you more.
Yeah.
So get those people off your list and keep the cream of the crop. And not only are you going to love doing business that much more, but you are going to love the type of customers that you get that way.
I love that. How often is opting in sending an email out to build your list? How often? What's the recommendation?
So the general rule is that the more often you send email, the more money you're going to make.
What? Okay. No. Explain that.
The general, because when you send an email out with an offer, if it's well done, it really depends how you do it. If it's well done, you send an email out with an offer, you make a sale. The more often you do that, just common sense, you're going to make more sales. But there's a big caveat here.
Yes, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
It really, the answer to that is all in your market. It really depends on your market, right? So, for instance, you know what I mean? If you are a real estate agent or a mortgage broker, someone who's what you're doing is very sort of timing dependent and people aren't necessarily thinking about it every day, you might really just turn a lot of people off if you email them every day about that. Okay. On the other hand, if you do something in, you know, fitness or diet tips, these are things that can really be on people's minds. So to do emails, you know, once weekly, I would say bare minimum once weekly, or twice weekly, even up to as much as daily, would probably work really well in those markets.
Yeah.
As a general rule, I would say whatever your instinct is, you know, a little bit more frequent than that, and you're probably right.
So business comes down to following that instinct, following your gut.
No, don't follow it. That's what I just said.
Don't follow it?
Yeah. Most people are going to say, most business owners, when I start, say, oh no, that's too much. I don't want to email them that much, because, you know, I don't want to bother them. That's the attitude.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're sending them stuff, this is my comeback, is if you're sending them stuff that they like, you're not bothering them. What you're picturing is sending them something promotional that doesn't really have any value for them. Then they're going to be like, please stop sending me emails. But if you're keeping it personal, light, fun, and they love what you're sending them, you almost can't email them too much.
True. They're actually salivating for more. They're like, hey, I need some information.
Yes, they're addicted to you. That's what you want.
Yeah, they become addicted. And if they don't hear from you, they'll be like, hello, are you not sending me stuff?
And you'll actually get, you know, I've actually gotten messages like that. Like, hey, you know, I haven't heard from everything okay? I didn't be getting your messages. I missed my daily Connor or whatever it is, right?
That's nice. You know what happened to me this morning? I got an email from somebody who was a guest on my show. She's a lawyer. And I found the approach was interesting. And I'm going to put it out to you. I subscribed to her list, and she sent me an email, and it gave a little bite as to what the information is about. But in that bite, she had a password and my email to access it. So when I click on the link to go to get access to the full article or information, I had to put in that email and password to get access to it, as opposed to just the regular, just give me the content in the email, or you have to read more, you click on it and you can get the full thing. I had to put it in. And I wondered to myself, is this a way of her building her list there too? Or to see, I'm thinking, who really read it, as a way of her measuring who really read it? Because if you just do the read more and somebody click on the link, you're not really sure, unless you have some sort of metric set up in your email system. You wouldn't be able to measure that, to know how many people are viewing, reading, the percentage of how much they have read, to really give you an idea, the interest in that particular article, and probably what you should do to probably produce more of that.
So you're saying you were already a subscriber of this person, and then you went to a page where you had to opt in to get this content? Yeah. So that usually, Corinne, usually that's a way of segmenting. List,
yes,
right?
I didn't think about that at the time. Segmenting, yes.
Yeah. So those people that are already on your list that opt in for something else, you know they're interested in that thing.
Yes.
I don't know if this person is using that properly and segmenting properly, but that's typically why someone would ask you to opt in again, because it's a way of segmenting people to know what they're.
And I believe in segmenting. Because it helps you to know what's the interest. And just like I was saying before, you know, I don't know, and probably you might be able to give some tips on this or lead us to where software or some sort of thing can be used to measure who is really reading it, besides her approach of opting in, double opting in, or whatever it may be. But how you can really find out, okay, you have a 1,000 word article, yeah? How would you find out what percentage of that they read? Like a sort of heat map. I remember discovering a plugin for that, but I can't remember what's the name of it right now. And it sort of would give you a heat map of what they read, what they spend more time on, to give you an idea of what interested them, what you could produce more. So let's say it was fitness and somebody spent more time reading a recipe, for example, in that particular article. You would know, okay, the person is probably interested in more recipes, more green juices, more whatever it may be, or they probably read the entire thing, but they spend a little bit more time on something else. What would you recommend to persons using email marketing for that?
I mean, I think that in that case, again, trying to keep it very simple for the people that are listening to this.
I'm so sorry, I don't do simple, even though we're talking simple.
Is you may be overthinking it a little bit. To me, ultimately, the metric that I care about is sales. How did how well did that promotion, that campaign, that offer do? And that's the ultimate measure of interest for me. So, I don't spend a lot of time, looking at heat maps or studying readership. I look at offers. So what did you put out there that did well, that people actually bought? Click-through rates, open rates on your subject lines will give you good intel too, because based on what's in your subject line, you kind of know what people are interested in, and what they're clicking on, you kind of know what they're interested in. But ultimately, by what they buy. That's really the ultimate.
I agree with you, Connor. You're interested in the money and the sales. But I think it comes down to the same thing. Couldn't I know what I could create, a product I could create in order to sell based on that same heat map, or what they're spending time on? So it's the same click-throughs, the same. Yeah.
You're describing a similar way of doing kind of the same thing. But what you're describing, here's a great tip. So for instance, the thing about subject lines is always to watch your open rates and see what subject lines do well for you. Because when you have a winner, what I propose you do is you reuse it, you recycle it. So you could, run that same subject line, maybe a month later or 2 months later, because people very quickly forget about these things. And also, not everybody opens it the first time.
Right.
And if you see that it's a winner again, then there's something to that. And you could use that in a number of ways. You can either just keep reusing that subject line, or you can then take that idea and put it into print advertisements or online advertisements, Facebook ads, Google ads, or even to the point where you create new products and programs around that specific thing. I'll tell you one quick example. I had a client who she was in women's fitness. And when we started, she said that her biggest open rate was for a subject line that said, do you want to look like a fitness model?
Of course.
And so that said, but I mean, not all women want to look like a fitness model. So that sort of said a lot about the type of women that she was attracting and what they were interested in. So I said, let's run the subject line again. How long has it been? 5 months. Okay, run it again. Same result, huge open rate. And so from there, what she can do is she can put, do you want to look like a fitness model on her posters and postcards and mail outs. And she could even, create a 5-week or 8-week program called Look Like a Fitness Model.
Yeah.
All based on that small, tiny little piece of intel.
Yeah. Nice.
Great tip. Use it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I look like a fitness model already. You want to look like me? Yeah. Oh my goodness. No, but I like that. Want to look like a fitness model. And I mean, you mightn't get the exact thing like somebody else, but you want to have a body that you appreciate. I think that's really what persons are looking for. I want to feel good about my body. I want to step out in confidence, that type of thing. Really nice. Really nice. So what do you, let's talk about you quickly before jumping across to your website. For your your business, give us one example and kind of walk us through as to, just like how you did for the fitness person, what you have used and what has been your results in terms of sales and all that we have been saying so far. Just one example.
Sure. Well, I work with a lot of wellness businesses. So fitness, chiropractic. A really good example is I went into a health clinic a few years ago, and they were doing chiropractic and naturopathy and those types of things. And they wanted to add a personal training component. And so what we did was basically we created a landing page, an offer page for them, and scripted out a few emails. In this case, it was, I think, just 3 emails to do this promotion to introduce this service. And they had a subscriber list of about 10,000, I think it was, so a strong number. And those people were used to hearing from them about once a month with their monthly newsletters.
Right.
And so in the space of 3 weeks, though, we sent out 3 emails, and it brought in a ton of responses.
Right.
And that first month, the total additional revenues from the promotion on personal training was $14,000.
Wow. Wow. And to promote your own business in terms of you helping persons to use email, how would you approach that for your own business?
So you mean what I do for my clients?
No, you, to promote your business, how you are using emails to promote your business.
How do I use email? I practice what I preach. Right. So I'm in the process of, that's why we're here today. I'm in the process of building my email list.
Right.
And growing it. And, I nurture that email list with regular emails, following the exact principles that I do for my clients, keeping them informative, entertaining, and brief, and just, really giving lots of value, but also teasing my content and what I do. And every email has an offer. And
every email has an offer. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Although people might be a bit like, oh my God, every time he sends me something, he's offering me something. It's overselling. It's a salesman type of approach.
Yeah, but I mean, these are soft offers. Let's call them that. So basically, you make a point about something, and then I'll say, well, if you're interested in this, if you want emails that will send you more customers on autopilot, for instance, then go here. It's like if then, and then I have a link to my Calendly where they can book a brainstorm call. It's a very low pressure offer to get in touch with me.
Yeah, I love that. So you're kind of working them in. You're not like, buy this or else. No, it's pretty soft and easygoing. Nice. Let's switch across to your website. Tell me the website again, Connor.
So I think you were just referring to my blog, which is connorkelly.com. So CONORKELLY.com.
Yeah, 1 second. I'm going to pull that up and showcase that. Ooh, who's that handsome guy there? 1 second.
Does he look familiar?
He seems so. I don't know if I've met him before. Hold on, I'll show you. You could see if you recognize him. Hold on. Where do I have it? There we go.
You sharing your screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there he is. You know him?
Wow, yes, I do. He looks very familiar. It's almost like looking in a mirror. It's crazy.
So tell us.
So you can see right there, right off the bat, if you scroll down a little bit, that was my most recent post. It's about why Marvel superhero movies make more money than comics, and what you can learn about that and how you can use that to grow your business. And so there's tons of amazing free content on my site. And you can also go opt in to my email list there. The free tips you can see over there on the right. And that's what I do. I send out free tips to help you double your sales with email.
Yeah. I like how your site is pretty simple. No bells and whistles. Get
Very
straight to the
clean.
point. Get straight to the point. A nice little picture of your name. This is what you do, and you're offering tips. So you're offering value straight off the bat. Yeah, and you're keeping it simple. Subscription. You want to get tips every day. Here's where you go. No sort of flashy, nothing, whatever. It's pretty simple, and that's what it is. People don't have time to waste. You know, they spend probably less than 60 seconds on a website, and it's like, I come here, I want to get what I'm looking for, X, Y, and Z, and I want to make sure I get that. Pretty simple.
Absolutely. And for people who are enterprising and have the time, that, you know, use my free tips, and they'll probably make a lot of money just from my free tips. And then, you know, there's other business owners that are, you know, that just don't have time to do it themselves. And that's when I come in and I do it for you. And we all make a bunch of money, and it's great.
Great. Where do you have a listing of your services and costing, or do you do that within the emails itself?
No, the costing is what we do when we have our strategy call together. But if there is a tab for email copywriting there, where you know, you can learn more about what my service is, and there's also a opportunity to book what I call a stress-free brainstorm call, where we just jump on a call, we talk about your business, and we see if we have a fit to work together, and that's all it is. It takes about 15 minutes. I ask you exactly 6 questions, and I know whether I can make you a lot of money or not.
Very good. Love that. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. I love that.
I like to keep it simple.
Yeah, that's why the topic is about simple emails. Yeah, it's just me with my Virgo self overthinking and overanalyzing. That's how my brain works.
It's okay. I'll bring you back in line.
I know, my darling. I know you would. I know you would. And we have plans. We have plans. So not letting the audience know. Yeah, we have plans. We have plans. Thank you for bringing me back in line, Connor. Oh my goodness, this has been good. I really appreciate you being on my show and sharing your tips, you know, and letting people know what you're doing here. Is there anything else that you want to say? Any final words to the audience before you go?
I just want to thank you very much. I'm very grateful that you had me on your show, and you know, keep doing what you're doing. You know, you're spreading that, you know, that big personality, that light. You know, God, the world needs that light. So just keep sharing it, keep shining brightly, and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Connor. Kelly, you have such an actor's name. That sounds like one of those actors.
I know. I've been told that. Yeah,
Connor Kelly. It sounds like one of those star screen names. Don't be surprised when I say things. It normally ends up being so.
Okay, well, it's here. You said it first, then. You saw it first. You discovered me.
That's right. That's right. And people, you're hearing it first. So I need to be on the red carpet. I always say I don't want all of that. I just want to walk the red carpet. Just give me the ticket for the red carpet.
All right. Well, we'll arrange it. We'll arrange it for you now.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Connor, for being on Between the Lines and sharing and letting people know. Basically, you know what I gathered from all of this is that don't let your fear hold you back. Don't make the assumptions, you know, just know your audience, know your market, and all those myths, you know, you really busted those myths of things that people believe shouldn't work or doesn't work, you know, like the overselling. Just do what you need to do in order to create the sale. That's what you're in business for. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, you said it very well. Know your market, and you know, communicate to them in a way that they like to be communicated to, and you're not going to screw it up.
Yep. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. Thank you so much, Connor, for being on Between the Lines.
My pleasure. Talk to you soon.